What is going on, guys? Ultimate Deadpool here, back with another video. I tried doing this as two different live streams and waited for about 7 minutes. Nobody showed up. So I'm just going to do this as an actual video, but we'll explain later on in the video how live streams are going to work. So anyway, from now on, every Friday and or Saturday, around probably 10 o'clock Central Time, which is where my time zone is in Texas, I'll live stream. Unless I don't have anything to live stream over, then I won't live stream at all. So, and I'll obviously keep everybody posted in the community tab, so that way, you know, everyone can be like, oh, is there a stream tonight, or is there not one? So that way this don't happen again. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and just jump right into things. Okay, so before we get too much farther in, I know there's a lot of people who probably have a lot of questions about the Ultimate Deadpool Connected Universe coming this fall, provided I can actually do it then. And I'm here to answer at least some questions that some people have. I've had a couple of people ask me who all is going to be in the universe to start off with. Well, for starters, Deadpool is obviously going to be a already established character. He may not have his origin story done just yet, but he's definitely going to be an established character, breaking the fourth wall, very reminiscent to the Emperor and Emperor's New Groove, where David Spade basically turns into a llama. So, Deadpool is going to be established. Wolverine is going to be established. Batman and or Bruce Wayne is going to be established, but they're not going to become the character that they're supposed to be just yet. Batman is going to be one of those characters where it's going to be built up. Maybe not necessarily as an origin story, but more of a growing up to that character type story. Bruce Banner / Hulk is going to be established. Now he may not be Hulk just yet, but Bruce Banner the character is going to be established relatively early. Same thing with Tony Stark. Tony Stark is going to be a character established already, but he will not officially become Iron Man until a little bit later date. Same thing with Shredder. His Orokusaki persona and his Shredder persona are going to be kind of there from the beginning, but he won't officially be the Turtles' main villain until the Turtles are introduced later into the series, or later into the universe. Spider-Man is going to be the first official superhero in the Ultimate Deadpool Connected Universe. Now, what I mean by that is his origin story is so common and so easy that I can literally, get through his origin story like that and get it done and get it out of the way. So that way I can use Spider-Man for future videos alongside characters like, anybody else I feel like throwing in there at the time. So, and I don't want to rush everybody's origin, so it's not like, one video I'm going to do Spider-Man's origin story, then the next video I'm going to do, Iron Man's origin story, and then the next video I'm going to do Hulk's origin story, and then the Cyber Turtles origin story. No. It's not going to work that way. I will answer more of these type of questions in my live stream, probably set for this Friday. So on Friday night, provided I'm not doing anything, I will answer as many of y'all's questions on the Ultimate Deadpool Cinematic Universe or Ultimate Deadpool Connected Universe as possible, without obviously diving into spoiler territory. So, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the main topic for today's video, and that is we got some new stuff to look at too. Now, just about everything that you guys are seeing in this video, with the exception of a few characters, and we'll get into that in a little bit, will show up somewhere throughout the Ultimate Deadpool Cinematic or Connected Universe. I want to say cinematic, but it's not a movie universe. It's just going to be a connected thing. So, moving on. Alright, so first off, we have End of World Spider-Man, or End of Days Spider-Man, whatever the hell you want to call this guy. He's a badass version of Spider-Man that I know of. So, and a very, more recent fan favorite version of Spider-Man. Now, you're probably wondering, why the hell did you get this Spider-Man? And he's also going to show up in the Ultimate Deadpool Connected Universe. Well, I'm going to try to do a Tobey Maguire comic accurate, whatever you want to call it, Spider-Man origin story for the Ultimate Deadpool Connected Universe. And in that in that origin story, Spider-Man tests his powers out on a wrestler. Now, I'm not going to say who the wrestler is, but I will say it is a very, very familiar superstar. Well, at least in the 90s they were. And early 2000s. So, but I will say, unless it changes and then he's going to be a modern day guy, just so that way people, recognize it more. But depending on how things go, hopefully that origin story is going to be fun. I already found a wrestling ring and cage and stuff like that is not WWE branded. So those of you who do not like WWE stuff, you don't have to worry about that. It's not going to be WWE branded stuff, except for obviously the wrestlers. So, and today's Spider-Man. So, first off, black and red, 10 out of 10 as is. I love black and red Spider-Man. The red and blue will always be the go-to, but to me, just the black and red, just makes it pop a little bit better. It looks a little bit better. That's one of the things what I always liked with Tom Holland's Spider-Man is they did the black and red suit. But no disrespect to the classic red and blue. I actually love the red and blue suit, especially Sam Raimi's red and blue suit. So, I know this is not exactly comic accurate or even Tobey Maguire accurate to Spider-Man's origin story where he goes and fights a wrestler to test out his powers. But to me, this suit definitely screams homemade feel. And I want to do a homemade suit that's not Tom Holland, because then it would be too short, and I don't want Spider-Man to be a short character. I want him to kind of feel like a teenager, but not so much of a teenager that he has to literally grow up and get taller. So I feel like if I did this Spider-Man as, I guess you could say, wrestler Spider-Man, then it's not going to be as weird. If 1 minute he's wearing this suit and then 1 minute he's wearing this suit or something like that. So it's not going to be that odd because they're both about the same size. They're both about the exact same height. Maybe this guy's a little bit taller, but he's also based off the Insomniac game. So, but anyway, breaking down this figure, the red really pops, and it really pops on camera. The spider on his back, the leather jacket looking feel. It almost looks like a Spider-Man Noir. Spider-Man Noir had a red accent throughout his suit, which I actually really love. He does come with alternative hands, which are the ones that are on the base right now. So if you wanted to pose him as he's like crawling up a wall or sticking to a wall or something, you could definitely do that, or just have him grab something and throw it. You could definitely make him do that. The quality of this Spider-Man, I will say, is actually pretty good. Some of you guys know this. Some of you guys who are new do not. I am not the biggest fan of Marvel Legends action figures. Don't ask me why. I just always thought the quality of their figures were just not there all the time. Honestly, I can say this one actually has some pretty solid joints. Take for the velocity suit, for instance, like the leg is extremely loose, on both accounts. The head wiggles way too much. The freaking shoulder joints and everything. It's like all super loose joints and whatnot. This is actually pretty solid. So, which is another reason why I want to use it for the Ultimate Deadpool Connected Universe, for the Wrestler Deadpool, or Wrestler Spider. Sorry about that. So now the wrestling scene is definitely going to be fun because I'm going to take a little bit of a different approach to that part of Spider-Man's origin story from both the comic books and Tobey Maguire. So hopefully that'll be fun. but hopefully it'll also feel, I guess you could say, familiar. So anyway, let's move on. Alright, and speaking of wrestling, oddly enough, we've got my second ever Stone Cold Steve Austin figure. Now, I do have one other Stone Cold Steve Austin figure. It is the Ghostbuster edition. It's the Ghostbuster edition version of Austin. I saw this at Walmart, and I love anything and everything Stone Cold Steve Austin. He is my personal favorite wrestler of all time. Always has been, always will be. So anything Stone Cold Steve Austin, I gotta pick up. And this is an awesome figure. The head mold looks exactly like Austin. The hands and whatnot, those are the exact same from the Ghostbuster figure. The detail on the camo for the pants look really good. The shoes, and even his build. His build actually looks, very reminiscent to what Austin looked like in the early 2000s, when he did look like this. And then his shirt actually does come off, so if you wanted to have him, wrestle or whatever, shirtless, you could definitely do that. There's a Velcro strip on his back, and then you just simply pull the shirt off, which is weird saying out loud. And then he also comes with a microphone. So, like I said earlier, Spider-Man is going to test his powers on a wrestler. But not any wrestler. He's not going to test his powers on Austin, because I don't want to have Stone Cold Steve Austin be the one that tests Spider-Man's powers. Instead, Stone Cold Steve Austin is going to play a slightly different role in Spider-Man's origin story when the Ultimate Deadpool Connected Universe does start. So hopefully, some of my hardcore wrestling fans or whatever, any fan who knows of Stone Cold Steve Austin, hopefully that sheds a little bit of excitement there. But just know he will show up, but it's going to be a little bit differently than what you might expect. But hopefully it'll still turn out just the same, and hopefully it'll be just as good. Okay, now we have the McFarlane DC Multiverse Batman Goes to Hong Kong, which is oddly enough the very reason that The Dark Knight was actually banned from China, for those of you who did not know that. The Dark Knight movie was banned from China from this scene right here, where Christian Bale's Batman goes to China and abducts the villain accountant guy. And this is also the first time he ever uses the Dark Knight suit. Now, some of you guys might not know this. I like Christian Bale as Batman. Don't get me wrong, he's a really good Batman in his own right. I was never a big fan of his Batman. I like him as Bruce Wayne, and anytime in the movies, I'm so much more interested in him as Bruce Wayne and not Batman, because he comes off as just this small, deep growly voice and whatnot. It comes out way too weird for Batman. But don't get me wrong, I know there's probably millions of people out there who are going to disagree with me. I do like the movies, don't get me wrong. He's just not my favorite Batman, but he's definitely a cool Bruce Wayne. So with that being said, the suit, I mean, it's not bad. The figure does the suit better than the movie. If you ask me, the suit looks better in an action figure this scale versus actually on Christian Bale. And speaking of Christian Bale, I don't know whose face they have for this figure, but that is not Christian Bale. This is supposed to represent Christian Bale's face, and I see more of Val Kilmer in there. I do not see Christian Bale in that face. So that's just me, though. All in all, it's not bad. It's just I like the Dark Knight movies, especially the Dark Knight. But yeah, Christian Bale is not my favorite Batman, but I get why people like him as Batman. So this version of Batman is not going to show up in the Ultimate Deadpool Connected Universe. Mostly because he is way too tall to be going up against anybody. Like, just for a size comparison, you know, obviously Spider-Man is the best choice because Spider-Man's fairly short, but Iron Man freaking is dwarfed, well, relatively dwarfed, by Batman. So, that is one of the reasons why at least this version of Batman is not going to be showing up in the Ultimate Deadpool Connected Universe just because he is way too tall. So, all in all, not a bad figure. The gun is kind of crappy, but, you know, Batman doesn't use a gun, so unless it's going to shoot little mini bombs at the glass to steal a you know, Japanese, Chinese, you know, terrorist accountant or whatever you want to call it, mobster boss or whatever you want to call him. So, otherwise, he don't use a gun. Alright, now we've got Darth Vader. Now, before anybody says anything, this is a different Darth Vader than what you guys have seen on the channel before. Because this is the old one. He had a very crappy lightsaber because I tried to make the lightsaber actually light up. And it destroyed the hilt of his old lightsaber. So that's why this Vader really hasn't shown up in any videos. Otherwise he would have. Because Vader's a badass. So, and plus it's Darth Vader. You can't go wrong with Darth Vader. So now this is actually a different Darth Vader than what this one is. This one is, I believe, Empire Strikes Back. And this one is A New Hope. The easiest way to tell the differences is the helmet on the eyes. This one has slightly grayed eyes versus this one's all black. This one on the chest armor, it's got, you can see the full armor clear as day versus this one that has the robes that cover it up. The capes are the same size, the lightsabers are the exact same, otherwise it's just Darth Vader. So honestly, 10 out of 10 figure. I love anything Darth Vader. I'm a sucker for anything Darth Vader. And I think the only other difference is maybe his glove is a little different from A New Hope. Yeah, his gloves are slightly different between this version, which I believe is either Revenge of the Sith or Empire Strikes Back, and then this one is A New Hope. So, gloves are a little bit different. Otherwise, it's pretty much the exact same thing. The eyes are ever so slightly different. And obviously the shoulder pauldron, his shoulder armor is covered on by his robes. On the new Vader versus this one, they are opened. Both versions of Vader will not be appearing in the Ultimate Deadpool Connected Universe for a very, very, very long time. Mostly because I don't want to introduce space just yet. And why would Star Wars characters come to Earth? I mean, seriously. So, both versions of Darth Vader are not going to show up in the Ultimate Deadpool Connected Universe. Unless people absolutely, positively want it to happen. It's not going to happen for a while. So, I'm sorry I've been coughing all day. My throat is extremely dry and I've been drinking water off screen. And it hasn't been helping. So, there's one other thing I want to do before I end this video. And we'll get to that in just a second. Okay, scratch that. There's one other character to go through. I completely forgot about this guy because he was sitting on my floor from the live stream earlier that failed. We've got Iron Man Mark 85 from Avengers Endgame. So, just like Spider-Man, this Iron Man actually is not that bad. Some of the joints could work a little bit better, but all in all, not too bad. He comes with 4 beams of energy, or I guess you could say exhaust, considering he's flying. No, he did not come with a stand because it's a DC stand, and B, this Iron Man did not come with a flight stand, which sucks, but you know, work with what you got, right? So, just like Darth Vader, This version of Iron Man is not going to be seen for at least a little while. And even then, when he does show up, it's not going to be a nanotech suit. It'll make sense when the actually does happen later. But just bear with me on it. This version of Iron Man is not going to show up fast, really at all, in the Ultimate Deadpool Connected Universe. But it will eventually show up there. So, in terms of detail, looks really, really good. Looks exactly like Mark 85. The arms and leg joints work really well. The upper torso bends really well. The feet and knees, elbows, all of that works really well. So, I mean, this is actually a really good, Marvel Legends Iron Man. So, and then even the repulsor colors are a little bit different than the other ones. The other ones, they're like this darker blue. The lighter blue actually starts to look better the more you look at it. But all in all, not too terrible. So I'm going to give this probably another, 9 out of 10. Could be better, but could be worse. Alright, that's pretty much it for this video. Well, at least all I'm going to do for this video right now. This weekend when I do my live stream, definitely make sure to check it out. I will be answering as many questions on the Ultimate Deadpool Connected Universe as I can, without spoiling anything, obviously. Even though I can't spoil it because I haven't 100% planned it all out yet. Or at least the first season. So, like I said in the beginning of this video, these characters that are on screen right now, they are going to be established, but they're not 100% going to be the characters they're meant to be just yet. Batman will just be starting out, if he's even Batman at all. Wolverine will still obviously be around because, he's Wolverine and is old as shit and, is immortal, essentially. Spider-Man will just now be getting his powers because that's the whole point of this beginning part of the story. Since Spider-Man is going to be the first person to have his story told. I'll explain more of this in the live stream this weekend. Captain America obviously is going to be established, just like Wolverine. He's, old but not old. Deadpool's going to be established. Whether or not he actually has his powers and whatnot yet, that's for somebody else to decide. But he's obviously going to be breaking the fourth wall from the beginning, talking to the audience and basically being the audience, very reminiscent to the way Cusco did the same thing in Emperor's New Groove. If you have not seen that, I recommend it. It's an awesome Disney movie. And then same thing with Shredder. Shredder's going to be an established character, but he's not officially going to be the main villain of the Ninja Turtles until the Ninja Turtles themselves are introduced. Hulk is the same way. He's going to be established as Bruce Banner, but whenever he actually gets his powers as the Hulk, that's also going to be a story I'd love to tell in this Ultimate Deadpool Connected Universe. Because the whole point of the Ultimate Deadpool Connected Universe is to tell stories like this. Basically have like everything just kind of coexist. So, anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you guys for those of you who did watch this video. There's one other thing I wanted to talk about, but I'll save it for this weekend. The Shredder's Rex Venge series is going to get finished sometime this week. I know that is not one of my better series that I have ever done. In fact, I think it's actually the worst one I've ever put out so far. Well, at least in terms of views, it's the worst one I've put out so far. So, and I will go ahead and combine it into its own movie. So, if you guys want to just wait until the entire thing is just done as a movie, feel free to wait until then for part 5 and or 6. But that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will catch you guys all next time on Ultimate Deadpool. Peace out. You guys are awesome. I'll catch you guys all later. Bye.